Hello, guys, guys and gals, and the in-between. Regardless of, that was a horrible way to start this episode. Anyways, I'm so sorry for the confusion. It's been a good minute since I've done any of this, and I'm trying this new thing. If you're watching the video playback on this, which you should, I highly recommend it. I've been actually trying to push myself mentally and just creatively to be able to upload at least a visual of today's podcast episode. This is one of my microphones, and I have another one right here. It's just out of the way, which is so much easier, and we're gonna roll with it and see how it goes. My intentions, if you hear a train, I live right next to a train track in a train that goes right over there. My name is Monique, and I am a creative endeavorist. I don't even know if that's a word. That's how it is here. Sometimes I feel like when I say certain words, they make sense in my brain, and they may or may not be even a real word. And for the most part, I just say what's on my mind, and whatever makes sense is hopefully makes sense to you, as in my audience. I've kind of been like, I was wanting to push off this episode because I didn't know where to go from it. That's the honest truth. And I didn't want to get ready. I mean, that's not 100% true. It's like 50% I didn't want to put on any makeup, and I didn't have to. Secondly, I made a TikTok and put it as a draft, and I'll take care of it later. So I'm grateful I did that. That was kind of fun. Right now, I feel like I have a lot on my plate, but I am balancing as much as I possibly can. And first and foremost, today's podcast episode is random, and we're gonna, if you've seen the last few episodes on YouTube, again, I highly recommend checking that out. It's either at onesoul or onesoulphotos. You'll see the logo that's on my shirt, and then you'll see it as the profile picture that's in the, yeah, let me just shut up. But I did make a few of these, a lot actually. They have different topics of what people were asking or wanting to know in the photography space. And hopefully the idea is to actually just blindly pick one, because they're all face backwards. Blindly pick one, and whatever it tells me, and once I flip it over, I give my thoughts on it. And that's kind of what the whole podcast episode and visual pertains when it comes to me even making these podcast episodes. I have old podcasts that I am needing to organize and everything like that when I get to it. That's one thing I will say. I have to keep reminding myself that everything's not a race, and when it comes to fruition that certain projects are revealed, then I know it was time. Now I can take advantage of that time to put a little bit more tweaks and a little bit more of me into said project. So today's podcast episode, I don't think I'll have much music on this one, because I'm gonna cut it simple, short and sweet and simple. Also depends on what this card says. Secondly, I want to say thank you so much for being here with me, and I appreciate you so much. Man, it's crazy that a lot goes into social media. That'd be a good thing, that'd be a bad thing, that'd be a detrimental thing. It's all a lot. And personally, I am sick, and I know I'm not the only one. I'm a little bit over of trying to beat certain algorithms, or feel like I have to compete with my own self You let alone so many other people. And I know it's more of a mental thing, but like, I just want something more. And if that means less posts and more of the process going into any post or project or anything like that, then shouldn't I as a creator kind of take that into mind? That is my dryer. It'll probably go off once more, so I apologize if you hear that. But as a creator, I feel like, and as a human being and an older sister and a partner, I feel like it's best for me to be able to like share unsolicited advice if at times, or give some kind of like ease of knowledge. I had a piece of hair right here. Okay, so we're gonna get on with this episode. Also, be sure to check out all of my other social media pages, because I kind of handle a little bit of everything. Excuse me. When it comes to One Soul Photos, One Soul Games, One Soul this, One Soul that, I play on the word of One Soul pertaining me and only me going into all of this. So there's that. Like I said, I'm handling a lot of stuff, but I know I'm capable of it. And sometimes it takes a lot. Okay, so everything's always linked in any bio of like our TikTok page, our YouTube channel, our website, our podcast main page. We're available on most podcast apps. The main ones would have to be Apple Podcasts. There's a few episodes on there. I'm trying to figure out how to get the other ones on there. And also, I'm trying to keep in mind, I can't see that far details on my little screen, so I'm trying to just double check that everything's in focus, at least my face, because I'm like this, and if I have my glasses on, you'll see every reflection out there. So we're not gonna do that. Oh, I just turned this card around, and I don't know if you can read it, but I'm gonna leave it up here so I can screen grab it and make a thumbnail. It's always majority, I don't want to say always in the majority, but majority of the time my podcast episodes are really unfiltered and unedited, because it's just how it's gonna go. Not everything, as a creative, I am putting myself to go through the trials and tribulations of not everything's gonna be so perfect. And it's the idealism that everything to me has to be so perfect before I can put it out into the world. And I know I'm probably not the only creative person like this, but also I've heard someone say that I follow on TikTok that's in the same field mention that when they are, that it's just more of a base fear or insecurity, that before I can have something be put out into the world, it has to be so picture perfect. It has to be edited the right way. It has to be this, it has to be that, it has to be, XYZ. And I did it a lot to myself back then, like a few years ago, that I just didn't want to make YouTube videos because of this, because of that. And some of them, I ain't gonna cap, some of them were like reasonable excuses, I guess you'd say. But let me tell you what this card says. Today's podcast episode is mainly just me speaking about what I'm thinking about. Unfiltered. Literally it says, speak about what I am thinking about Unfiltered. Literally is what it says. That's today's podcast episode. Oh man. I kind of just went on a rant of where I'm at mentally when it comes to being a creative person and trying to keep up with so many different platforms and algorithms. You get so lost in actually just creating. Or I take that back. I actually get so lost in just trying to just to fucking compete with everyone else. When in my mind, I'm competing with myself. Literally. And I don't know why. It's like I feel like I have to be better or good at everything. But I'm also learning that when I'm not, it's completely okay. And I don't have to be so picture perfect. So I ask you this. What is something you're struggling with today, right now? And what are the most healthiest ways you can help yourself? Whether that be simply leaving your phone at home, just going outside, go for a walk. You could take your dog, I would say take your cat, but regardless, my most important piece of advice, I would say, and I've advocated for this for quite some time because I've been able to reestablish myself within my own energy. And it's really, really awesome that I have the opportunities to just do whatever the fuck I want to do. I mean, of course, to my own means. But when it could just be easily me getting in my car, getting some food, sitting in my car, parking at a park, and just chilling. I can even listen to a podcast. I can just sit on my phone. I can just throw the phone in the passenger seat and just chill by myself. It took me a long time to even get to that point because honestly, I used to think that was so weird to hang out with myself. And I always felt, at a time, I had always felt that it was weird to do stuff by myself. And I felt so lonely, even though I was with someone. It was because at a time I had become kind of, this is the first time I'm putting it out there, to a degree, a little bit codependent and all about somebody else, because growing up, I had to grow up 10 times faster than what I actually needed to. And it was because I had to help my mom with raising my younger brother and sister at the time. And then another 2 added on later on. But that's the truth. And so when I say I advocated for the fact of taking time for yourself is really fucking important. I do not care whether you have kids. Respectfully, I do not care if you have a partner. I do not care if you have someone to take care of. It took me a long time to realize this too. The most beneficial thing you can do for anybody externally, whether it be friends, family, partner, kids, the best thing you can possibly do is explain to them where you're going, or just say, hopefully, how do I say this? One, I don't have kids. Two, I used to babysit a lot of kids. Do not get me wrong. The best beneficial thing you could even do for anybody else, but for yourself, is to make time and take care of yourself. That's going to be a lot harder than it is easy. I understand that. And if the kids don't understand, give them time to understand while also explaining why. That's all kids really want to know, because they are curious as shit, and they just want to know. They just want to be nosy because they want to know. And that's not a bad thing. It really hurts a kid to... Ooh, I'm getting flashbacks. It really kind of sets a tone when you kind of just say, and I know that I'm saying this now, oh, I'll just take care of it. Or sometimes, take care of it myself, because no, it's not going to be done the way I want it to. That's kind of a control issue. That I have that. Two, it's kind of discouraging. Discouraging. When a parent says, it's none of your business, go XYZ. Although it's none of the kids' business, they would love to know what their parent is doing. And if it's bad, why are you doing it in the first place? Secondly, why isn't there a healthier option to handle a problem rather than just yelling at each other? Because believe me when I say, growing up in a household where the parents yelled at each other is because they didn't understand or comprehend what each other needed, was doing, and why. That is all I am saying. And I think if kids were talked to literally on a friend, I'm not saying you have to be their best friend, but on a friendly level of just understanding and being there for them, would benefit the relationship later on when they're grown up and they're no longer living with you. I see this now with my parents, and then I see it with other parents and their kids, that sometimes literally kids just, they're curious. Kids want to know. And now that I'm thinking about it, adults have a heavy influence on the kids. And whether that be good or bad. I think when it comes to a kid, your differences I might be stepping on some eggshells, but the difference is your differences between either you and your partner, whether it be good or bad, when it comes to the kid, y'all gotta knock that shit off. The most important part The most important person in this situation is the child. Look, with all due respect, get over your own shit and take care of the kid. I do not care. But that child needs you more than anything, more than any differences. Please show them a better world where they are brought up so much different than you were. Because not a lot of childhood memories are good. But it sucks because when they are good, you only remember those good parts. I would love to know what you have thought about today's episode. As we wrap this up, it isn't going to be long. And I really, really appreciate you for sticking around. And if you have stayed until the very end, I hope it allowed you to just really open your eyes and open your mind to some realizations, maybe some self-realizations. That's honestly my favorite part when talking about intellectual stuff, because it affects everything. Whether that be a good thing or bad thing, what we do today always matters for tomorrow. And I really hope you stay around. I hope you stick around and check out all of our social platforms, whether we are on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, anything of that matter. Everything's always linked in the bios, and I appreciate you so much. I hope to see you on the next one. Don't forget, audio only podcast episodes come out every Saturday. The visuals, which technically is just a YouTube video form of it, comes out every Sunday. I am still trying my best to film ahead while working. Also, I started a seasonal job, part-time kind of thing, and I'm working in a greenhouse, so I'm working on social media for that too. I'm taking it upon myself because I want to be able to do that kind of stuff. And I am so grateful to be where I am today, because I'm noticing that I feel good. Like, where I'm at right now is so good, and I am so happy to be where I'm at. Genuinely, I can only hope I help anybody out with any of the podcast episodes, anything I post, whether it be on socials, anything I say in real life. That's all I really want to do. And I gotta go. But you take care, okay? Remember to really, really take time for yourself today. And tomorrow. And the day after that. Because once you're able to create a habit out of it, it's going to be so natural. You're going to get into the flow of it. And the future self of you will be so grateful for taking that time out today. I'll see you on the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment on the visual. I'll see you next time. Bye.